Now into the depressing stuff. Fauci lies. What a surprise. The almighty Fauci, these people love to worship him. That there was that god-awful song that girl was making about Fauci and being obsessed with him and idolizing him. Well, it turns out he actually did lie. Here, it's from Richard Ebright, who is a Board of Governors professor of chemistry and chemical biology at Rutgers University. He posted this, and this is what everyone was freaking out and sharing. I actually have this article open as well. I'm going to get to it. I'm just going to read what he wrote here. Newly released documents provide details of U.S.-funded research on coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The Intercept has obtained more than 900 pages of documents detailing work of EcoHealth Alliance at the Chinese lab. All right, right off the bat, I just got to add, I have to just say, this is exactly what Rand Paul was demanding Fauci talk about, because Rand Paul was saying, we have proof right here in this letter. He was holding up a letter. It was a printout of an email saying you guys were funding, coronavirus research, gain of function research, more specifically in the Wuhan laboratories. And Fauci said, you don't know what you're talking about. The only one lying here is you. That those were not the same viruses. How dare you say that I caused this pandemic? And it's like, he didn't say that. And in fact, Rand Paul even said, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it could have caused it. The fact that you were funding this specific research that could have caused the pandemic. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying it could have. And Fauci was freaking out so much he was shaking. I have a video of it, and I'll show you guys in a little bit. So it's funny because The Intercept actually wrote an article about this. And here it is. Let me show you guys. Rand Paul's attack on Anthony Fauci chills scientific debate over gain of function research. By politicizing the debate over virus-modifying research, the senator has thrilled conservatives, but discouraged scientists from weighing in. Oh, it discouraged scientists from weighing in. Is that really what happened, Intercept? Really?
And you know what, too, Adam? I always love how they have to throw in and say that it's Republicans that are always politicizing this when...
Conservative, but yeah.
Conservative,
same difference.
Republicans. It's always that we're politicizing things and that we're making it a bigger issue than it really is.
They're the only ones who do it.
We're the only ones that are doing that. It hasn't happened on the left at all, with the Democrats at all. It's only the Republicans that are doing it. And Rand Paul just really needs to chill out and stop pressing people who may or may not have lied to us and got us into this situation,
Is Rand Paul a Republican anyway?
Yeah.
Isn't he a libertarian?
Yeah, I think he's a libertarian.
Right. So it's like, Intercept, come on. All right. So, they blast him here. All right. I'm not going to read this article. It's a bunch of hot air. Okay. The funny thing is, let me bring it back. Hold on. So the funny thing is Intercept almost wanted to prove themselves right and prove Fauci right. So they started digging. And it turns out Intercept themselves dug a little too deep, or at least found the wrong source.
They did too much journalism.
So it turns out, they actually proved Rand Paul correct.
Oh no.
New details emerge about the coronavirus research at the Chinese lab. This is what everyone now has been reporting on. Newly released documents provide details of the U.S.-funded research on several types of coronavirus at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China. The Intercept has obtained more than 900 pages of documents detailing the work of EcoHealth Alliance, a U.S.-based health organization that used federal money to fund bat coronavirus research at the Chinese laboratory. The trove of documents includes 2 previously unpublished grant proposals that were funded by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, as well as project updates relating to EcoHealth Alliance research, which has been scrutinized amid increased interest in the origins of the pandemic. The documents were released in connection with ongoing Freedom of Information Act litigation by The Intercept against the National Institute of Health, the NIH, The Intercept is making the full documents available to the public. This is a roadmap to the high-risk research that could have led to the current pandemic, said Gary Ruskin, executive director of U.S. Right to Know, a group that has been investigating the origins of the COVID-19. One of the grants, titled Understanding the Risk of Bat Coronavirus Emergence, outlines an ambitious effort led by EcoHealth Alliance President Peter Daszak to screen thousands of bat samples for novel coronaviruses. The research is also involved screening people who work with live animals. The document contains several critical details about the research in Wuhan, including the fact that key experimental work with humanized mice was conducted at Biosafety Level 3 lab at Wuhan University Center for Animal Experiment, and not the Wuhan Institute of Virology, as was previously assumed. The documents raise additional questions about the theory that the pandemic may have begun as a lab accident or in a lab accident, an idea that Daszak has aggressively dismissed. The Bat Coronavirus Grant provided EcoHealth Alliance with a total of $3.1 million, including $599,000 that the Wuhan Institute of Virology used in part to identify and alter bat coronaviruses likely to infect humans. Even before the pandemic, many scientists were concerned about the potential dangers associated with such experiments. The grant proposal acknowledges some of those dangers. Quote, field work involves the highest risk of exposure to SARS and other coronaviruses, while working in caves with high bat density overhead and the potential for fecal dust to be inhaled, end quote. Alina Chan, a molecular biologist at the Broad Institute, said the documents show that EcoHealth Alliance had reason to take the lab leak theory seriously. In this proposal, they actually point out that they knew how risky this work is. They keep talking about people potentially getting bitten, and they kept records of everyone who got bitten, Chan said. Does EcoHealth have those records? And if not, how can they possibly rule out a research-related accident? According to Richard Ebright, a molecular biologist at Rutgers University, the documents contain critical information about the research done in Wuhan, including the creation of novel viruses. Quote, the viruses they constructed were tested for their ability to infect mice that were engineered to display human-type receptors in their cells, Ebright wrote to The Intercept after reviewing the documents. Ebright also said the documents made it clear that two different types of novel coronaviruses were able to infect humanized mice. Quote, while they were working on SARS-related coronavirus, they were carrying out a parallel project at the same time on MERS-related coronaviruses, Ebright said, referring to the virus that caused MERS, the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome. Asked about the grant materials, Robert Kessler, the communications manager at EcoHealth Alliance, said, quote, we applied for grants to conduct research. The relevant agencies deemed that it would be important research and thus funded it. So I don't know there's a whole lot to say. It's like, you know what there's a whole lot to say is that Dr. Fauci said under oath that they weren't funding gain of function research. Mm-hmm. Okay. And in fact, it turns out that they were. And really what the crazy part is, if you go back and listen to Rand versus Fauci, what if you want to call it like the boxing match in the Congress hearing, Fauci doesn't dispute it. He just, he does this like, look this way. You're saying this. How dare you say that? Even though he didn't say that. He's like, how dare you assume that I caused this, I funded this pandemic. Rand Paul was not saying that. He was saying, I have proof that you funded EcoHealth Alliance, and the grants that you gave over there was gain of function research, which could have, keyword there, could have. We still don't know for certain. Again, this is still us in the trying to figure it out stage. I don't know any of this is for certain, but this is clearly a man who knows what he's talking about. He's a professor at Rutgers. This is what his key thing is, talking about this stuff. He clearly knows about it. He's gone over it. Fauci lied under oath. Under oath. This is the highest paid government official. by the way, getting caught lying and flip-flopping. We already know that he's flip-flopped countless times. I don't know how many times he's flip-flopped. Don't wear a mask. Wear a mask. Go outside. It's not a big. Stay on vacation. It's not a big deal. Actually, now you need 3 masks. Well, he said 2 masks, double mask, whatever. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Dr. Fauci has been lying to us since the start of this, or flip-flopping, if you will, if you want to, use some of the media's language.
Trust the science.
Exactly. It's just 15 days to slow the spread. And the 3 points that I want to, touch on here is one, China has already come out and threatened retaliation against the US if they say that, coronavirus came from China or it was leaked out of a lab, which is something
worse than that.
Very telling to all of us.
I don't know if you heard this, but they're telling their citizens that it came from America.
And that's not surprising at all, because guess what? China is just as good as manipulation as the American media. And to be quite honest with you, if we started seeing American media mirroring that exact same rhetoric and saying, hey, maybe coronavirus did start in America, the average American who listens to the media would be so easily manipulated, because we've seen over this past year how everyone has just, bent the knee to what the media has to say and given up their freedoms and rights. So if the American media decided to take that Chinese, talking point that, hey, maybe this started in America, actually, they could technically do this by, maybe even manipulating the Fauci-funded gain-of-function research type thing. So very interesting to see how this is all just, I guess, being laid out at this point.
Yeah, it's not even a surprise. Yeah, I mean, China's they're I was going to say they're better at propaganda because they are using propaganda on their own citizens and our citizens.
And that's what it is, Adam. Like, look at China right now. They're getting so powerful. They're encroaching on Taiwan right now. They were flying over Taiwan's airspace yesterday because guess what? They don't give a damn about America. They don't fear our leadership. And that's why they threaten retaliation. On top of that, they know that our own government and politicians and officials are lying to us. I mean, look at what happened this entire past year. So we're a very weak nation right now. And that's why it will be very easy for foreign countries to come in and take us over. And, going back to Dr. Fauci and everything that we're seeing here, I mean, we've heard about this for months. It wouldn't be surprising to see the outcome of this. But the most important question I want to pose as well is, will we actually see any justice? Will we actually see Dr. Fauci, is anyone going to hold his feet to the fire? And is anything actually going to come of this?
Rand Paul making criminal referral to the Department of Justice for Anthony Fauci because he has lied to Congress. This was July. This was back in July. All right. I mean, Rand Paul knew he caught him on it. He knew he was holding the actual evidence that he lied. And thankfully, I mean, of course, Senator Rand Paul is on it. Surprise, surprise. Fauci lied again. And I was right about his agency funding novel coronavirus research at Wuhan. Read this thread and the papers released. This is, of course, the thread that I brought up earlier with Richard Ebright. And I mean, but you make a good point. Rand Paul is one guy.
And he's submitting this to the DOJ. Is this the same DOJ that is hunting down Trump supporters right now and throwing them in jail? I mean, come on, guys, think about it. It's like the people who we're trying to turn Fauci into are the same exact people in intelligence agencies that have covered up crimes for decades.
Yep. I mean, or created them.
Yeah. See, I was going to say that, but I was
needed. I'll say it.
Yeah, I'll let you say it. I'll let you have the spicy takes on your show, Adam.
We've got proof that the FBI was instigating that day, though. They came out with it. Like, why isn't no one's talking about that anymore? It's like we know that they were there, or the Gretchen Whitmer plot. Yeah, 12 different FBI agents. They were like talking to each other, like, yeah, let's get each other to do this. And it was like, okay, there was a couple of guys that weren't in the FBI, but they were absolutely being entrapped. It's like, how is that not entrapment, really, though, right? I mean,
yeah, I love those memes of the FBI, and it's like, we have to save the American people from this domestic terrorism, right? And and it's like the FBI versus the FBI.
Yeah, I love those. I
know. I know.
The real thing is, we need more people like Rand Paul that are 100%. Holding these people's feet to the fire. Like, you need to be accountable for your actions, your words, your lies. More importantly, because it's clear Fauci lied. Why do people put this guy on such a high pedestal? Why is he getting paid so much, almost $500,000 a year to lie to us? Clearly he's lying. All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. So we'll see. I don't think anything's going to happen to him. I think people are going to continue to blindly accept this narrative of almighty Fauci, whatever he says goes, because for some reason, his is the only science that they trust.
Well, then, Adam, let's take a peek at what the mainstream media is talking to Dr. Fauci about today. He was on this morning with CNN,
Okay.
and they were asking him about the football stadiums that were filled this past weekend. Were they asking him about gain of function research? Were they asking him about this damning document that came out? No, they were asking
Tell us about
him,
how deadly that is. How dare these people?
Exactly. And of course, he had to condemn everybody who went out to football games this past weekend, just like all of the same liberals that have, circulated pictures of themselves on Twitter going to a basketball game maskless. But when it's college students that are doing it in an outdoor stadium, then it's a super spreader event.
It's absolutely insane. I mean, I watch those videos and I'm like, awesome.
Same. I was like, hell yeah, America's back. And then did you hear all the
hey, watch your language, Missy.
I said F Joe Biden chants. I don't curse. I'm a lady, okay?
I know, but you've said 2 already so far.
What have I said?
HE double hockey stick, you just dropped it, and DAMN. Earlier.
Sorry. I thought
it's okay. Look, there might be kids that watch my show. All right, I'm just trying to keep it kosher.
Let me keep it PG. I'm sorry, kids. I'm sorry.
But on that note, F Fauci.
Maybe there should be a new chant at football stadiums. I don't know.
Maybe I should do. Oh yeah, the new chant, because I don't know if people have seen this, but they're chanting F Joe Biden. Robert Shaw would be proud. Is he in chat right now? I don't know if he is. Sometimes he's here, sometimes he's not.
Did you see that Joe Biden was also greeted with a flag that read the same thing when he went to New Jersey?
No. Really?
So, yeah, he was in New Jersey, and he's kind of just making his rounds for hurricane relief and efforts. And all of the people who are greeting Joe Biden are greeting him with Trump flags or F Joe Biden flags. So, the most.
Now he's going to California to help Gavin Newsom for some reason.
Yeah.
The president is getting involved in state governor run. Like,
well,
what?
I mean, it's not like we have Americans being held hostage by terrorist groups overseas. I mean, what else would he be focused on right now? I don't know.
I get so frustrated at that president, man. And Kamala is not any better. I mean, she is also in California helping, like, literally, like, the president that Gavin Newsom called them crying, like, I need your help. And they dropped everything, literally everything. They don't, I got to show this meme. I wasn't going to show it, but.
Because see, I knew Kamala was going to California. I didn't know that Biden was going as well.
They just announced it this morning.
That should just be a testament to how scared Gavin Newsom and Californians as a whole are, not Californians, but California government is, that Larry Elder or a right-wing person who's actually going to come and clean up the state.
The Democrats in California that are vote blue no matter who, like crazies, that they literally know nothing about politics except they think that Republicans are evil for some reason.
That'll happen.
Here, this is the tweet that I want to show everybody. A friend of mine sent me this meme, and I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, gosh.
No to Afghanistan, pandemic, inflation, jobs report, border disaster, hurricane relief. No. Campaigning for Gavin Newsom. Hey, there it is.
Also, look the other way when you're in California and you're paying $4 to $7 for a gallon of gas. Just look the other way.
Absolutely bonkers. I feel bad for the homies in California that didn't vote for this.